Almost every trip he gets pulled over. This is why I sit in the back. I mean, look. And he's talking his way out of it right now. He's talked this guy out. Of course, the kids in the car and me probably saved him. But he's talking his way out, talking history with this cop. Oh my God.
Infighting issues about who owned the family or who owned the property of the cemetery. That it was like that. This is why we would bring a mirror and get some different shading on it. This is a remarkable, massive church of sandstone box tomb. In the last one we saw a mausoleum, probably one that encased the burial. This one does not encase it. There's a block here that's 1 foot by 1.5 feet. Now it looks, that's what the extension. This one might be a 3-foot piece. This one is 6 inches, but then tall. And you know, they're 14, 18 inches high. And then this is called a ledger stone, which is 4 inches. So it was designed to be not only impressive to people looking, but also to weigh the ground down. So we don't get anybody's name. But here, yeah, look at this. Things you don't see. Oh, and look at over here.
Oh, surprise. Wow.
Kelly, bring some clippers.
Your biggest suggestion if you're going to look into old cemeteries is bring clippers?
It's bring clippers because we were walking back here, all we saw was some other modern monuments, especially that pile of dirt, you know, that tells us that it was really recent. And also we learn from a pile of dirt that when you put anything in the ground, like a coffin, or you know, even on top of the coffin, is that you are going to displace dirt, and that it will have been aerated and ventilated. It won't be the same compact dirt that you put in. So it needs to rest on top of the ground, and then it will come down and settle like this one. This is what you hope for, is some kind of relatively flat settling. Then for grass to grow over it, you see a little depression there, and so that a mower can come through here. In the older days, you would pile that up and just let it collapse because the wooden coffin would collapse. And then if there were still being animals grazed here, you would need to cover it to protect it from the cows. So, you got them?
Yay.
Bring clippers. I mean, I don't know how often people go around looking at old cemeteries, but when you can't see a monument, and you know that the monument was there to be seen by people, I recommend you help history and treat it some respect, some niceness, some curiosity, and cut down these things that are growing up around it. Now, this is privet. Cutting privet isn't going to help a whole heck of a lot in the long term, but it does show you that what we were missing when we walked by here is another large tomb of immense proportions. This is longer but narrower than the other one that we saw.
You called it a tomb.
Well, it is a gravestone. There is nothing inside here, not that we know of, not that I know of, presumably not that anybody knows of. When I say tomb, I mean a grave marker, not enclosing anything else. Virginia creeper, is that what this is? So if I was family, and in some way we all are family, trying to be respectful, of the dead. And in visiting all these places, that's one of the primary goals, is to be respectful of our educational institutions, and cemeteries are educational institutions. They teach us family history, genealogy. They teach us how people take care of their dead. We relate that to Arabs, Africans, Jews, Muslims, Catholics as opposed to Protestants, atheists as opposed to Unitarians, whatever. This is supposedly a good Christian cemetery. Everything is facing east. And yet we have one part of the cemetery that has been essentially abandoned. Don't know if it's by the family, if the family owns it and isn't around anymore, doesn't have those annual spring or summer cleaning days.
Like Decoration Day.
Decoration Day. We can always help with our own impromptu Decoration Day by cutting down invasive species that will ultimately overgrow and even displace the stone, make it fall apart, crumble it. So I advocate for helping.
That looks much better.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Now you can see it.
Yeah.
This looks local.
Yeah.
These are so massive. I mean, I presume this is 19th century. It would take a heck of a cart and a horse and driver to bring these stones up here. And you can see that there is cement and there's grouting put in here to fill it in. So it was somebody who worked on houses. There are houses made of this material around here. So there's a stonemason, a quarry, and a carter around here that dealt with these things. 19th century.
Okay.
Should be relative. Gosh dang, was I tell you, I am just good.
I saw the street.
You did. That was
I saw it.
that was very good.
What? It's
But
metal.
it's not right here.
It's stone there, but it's metal. Crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a metal one.
Another interesting thing is to see the family plots and then to see the names and see back there. I don't know if you noticed the name Grizel, and there's a local area called here Grizel, but this one is Coffee, and we are very close to Coffee County. And you look at all of the similar markers here, and this is probably all the relatives of the Coffee family. Kelly, I think if you kept walking on this, we'll meet you down there. So much is, especially down there towards the older areas, is marble, and then the transition into granite is impressive. So easily seen down in that area, all marble, and then the slow transition to granite. So go take a look at that one.
It's a cube.
Yes, so you know, money.
There's a car coming.
You know, what's interesting is that its base is marble,
Oh,
and that is a granite cube, and the date is 1896. So that marks the transition from marble to granite perfectly. what's remarkable? Did you notice the date on the other one? 1896. Go see what the date is. See that granite wall? It's almost as if they knew each other and planned to have a cube offset on its sides. And here we have a marble base. I think it's marble, granite, polished granite, and more polished granite.
So infant on one side, wife here, nothing here.
That's it. Infant Lenore and V. Sanders. Infant of Lenore and V.
It doesn't have a date.
Somewhere it must have. Then look around on the floor, on the ground. What we can find. What does this say? Okay, so it has the name McGuire. So it's just the name of the family plot.
Yeah.
Here is mother. There should be a father. We have Wilson Jr.'s son of Jesse Wilcox Wilson, but this is McGuire. So here we have a Wilson and another Wilson, 1925, 1968. So none of it is McGuire. So there's McGuire and here is Wilson. We have two Wilsons. That is a puzzle, is how you can have a McGuire family monument and no McGuire markers. So we come all this way to the river bottom of McMinnville, the old part of town, which you can see up center of town up there, Depot Bottom Country Store, to look at the most ethnic of markers, the most local of markers, and that is these graves, these grave markers here. Really interesting. You can call these comb graves, you can call these tent graves, but what's different, or I call them prism graves, is that they look just like a prism. They're triangular at the ends, and that the two sides here are formed of local material, chert, and that they have the triangles, these ones, have the triangles at the bottom to support, this base is broken, to support the stones when they fall. At 11 o'clock in the morning, this is showing orientation to the sun at 100 degrees, just south of east. And we can barely read, there's THOS, Thomas something, and then it's worn away. Let's see if we get anything else here. No. This is so smooth. You can see a few of the markers. Interesting here, you can see the lines drawn on this. So this is marble. They weren't thickly or deeply incised. The back is not completely flat, it's kind of convex. And there's very little depth left in this. I wonder if it was acid rain that washed the words away. The back is rough. There's no writing on any of these stones, which, as I said, is not granite, it's chert. It's local stone. Pieces of it, foliated. So there are no bodies laying down here. They are underneath. They just kind of cover that mound of dirt. But as you can see, those are 2 inches, almost 3 inches thick chert slabs cut, and then headed up with marble that does deteriorate with acid rain.
What's it on, Leia?
A person
Person.
with lots of hair.
These monuments have, that's poison ivy, dear.
Oh, so it is.
Great. Don't touch me.